There are a lot of ways to make your business known. Among them is through advertising your product or service digitally. For today's Money Talks, we invited in the studio Michael Palacios. He's the president of the Internet and Mobile Marketing Association of the Philippines. Hi, Michael. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mai.
Thanks for coming over.
Yeah, great to be here.
Okay. Now, a lot of people now have access to the internet, but how do you exactly market your business online, and what are the trends today in online advertising?
I think the biggest shift in the last 12 months has been the rise of the mobile phone and smartphone and tablet as the primary means of access for the Filipino internet user. We have 38 million internet users today in this country, and about 2 in 3 of them have access to the internet via a smartphone or tablet. So a lot of the advertising strategies and marketing strategies that companies are implementing today are increasingly becoming mobile-centric and are a little bit more, I guess, built to target customers based on their intent and their usage of these devices.
Well, what is the most effective though? Do you use apps now more? You advertise more on social media?
Locally, there's been a race for adoption of mobile apps. It hasn't quite exploded yet. There are still a lot of companies that do not have mobile applications of their own, but at the same time, those companies may have competitors that are rolling out their mobile apps, and it's really a race for customer attention, right? And once the first company gets its mobile app in the user's device, they may have an edge, right, over the group that does not. The individual strategies for marketing, I guess, online vary depending on the advertiser or the client. So you have banks, for example, that are now trying to deliver their services without them ever having to visit the bank, right? They can do it on their phone. They can
online
do most
banking
of their,
is very convenient.
Yes, they can do most of their transactions. And even if you look at their TV ads, they're telling them the TV ads are oriented towards getting users to download the app. Increasingly, we're also starting to see retailers get in the game. So mobile shopping, for example, or mobile ordering. And e-commerce is also taking off in the country.
Now, with the internet as a channel to promote your business, one cannot help but see lots of ads online now, and you see a lot of clutter on the page. Now, how do you make sure that you stand out from all these ads?
I think some advertisers are still making the mistake that the internet is one message market to everyone medium, similar to television or radio. It's a mass medium. The beauty of the internet is actually an advertiser can tailor an ad to a particular user. So, for example, if you're a cosmetics brand, you may want to target female 21 to 28. But and you can just drill down from the 38 million internet users online just to that particular segment.
You zoom in on a particular
you bring it down to like the 4 or 5 million that matter. So these shotgun approaches of kind of like hitting everyone with one ad message,
it doesn't really work.
It doesn't. It's so unnecessary to do online, and that's something that that we in our association, IMAP, we're trying to educate advertisers and advertising agencies to kind of like create tailored messages and create custom messages based on not just your the consumer's age or gender, but also their location, their interests, the content that they like to browse. All of these things are little cues that signal that customers want a particular thing. And the more that advertisers can tailor their message towards the intent of their potential customer, then you'll see less clutter.
Okay, so how do you make use of social media then? How do you engage your followers or potential clients, for example, on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram?
Well, social media just basically captures a lot of different strategies. It's a vector by which it's a word of mouth vector by which you can really get a message out very efficiently. one way to do that is to create content for your particular audience. So if you're a bank, you can talk about responsible finance. If you're
Yeah.
you're a telco, you can talk about what are the 10 best smartphones for Mother's Day
Yeah,
for
yeah,
to
that's
give
good.
us a gift, and really create custom and tailored content that can entertain, inform, or inspire, just like a media company. And the other angle that some companies do is they use social media as a means for delivering exemplary customer service. So one social media manager can take care of more than 100 people. You know, in this, and you know, unlike for example a call center, it's more of like a 1:1, you know, situation response.
Yeah, quick
issue.
response is
Yeah.
very important also, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but are there any disadvantages to this kind of advertising, and how do you counter this if so?
The, well, I guess the one thing that people need to look out for and advertisers need to look out for is authenticity. So the thing with social media and the internet is you're a Google away from the truth, right? And
Yeah,
you're a
yeah,
search
sure.
away from the truth, or you're a Facebook post away from the truth, and so companies have to become more authentic in the way that they communicate. They can't mean one thing and do another, because their customers now have a voice and can call them on it. And so
Information is now a click away, right?
yeah, and it's now a two-way conversation where, you know, 10, 15 years ago, or in the time of my parents, it was not. It was very clearly a one-way conversation. There's a lot of power in the hands of the consumer, and advertisers need to understand that and kind of like take responsibility for it.
Okay, tell us 3 key points or tips if you're advertising online. What do you have to keep in mind?
I think one of the things to keep, maybe a good starting point, for example, and a lot of companies have already done this, is start thinking about how can you create a community online, a community of people that are interested not just necessarily in your product, but maybe the values that your product advocates, right? At the same time, they may also want to start thinking about how can they retail or distribute that product online, or use mobile as a means to bring themselves closer to their customers. So a lot of that can be answered by a lot of experts in our organization and in IMAP, whether they come from digital agencies or big publishers that are operating there. They can help point the way for you.
And you should have a message, a clear message on what you stand for.
Absolutely. I think, well, that transcends not just digital, but marketing in general. People respond more to companies that stand for something.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's a universal truth already.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, you also have an upcoming summit. Can you tell us about it?
Yes, we have in September 25 to 26 at SM Aura, we have the Internet and Mobile Marketing Summit. We've been doing it for the last 7 years. And our theme for this year is digital transformation, which is how can businesses, if your end customers have kind of already adapted towards kind of a new reality, they're booking taxis online, they're finding information online, they're getting answers to questions online. How can businesses orient themselves to take advantage of these new, amazing new consumer developments? That's what we're going to be tackling for 2 days, and we're going to have speakers from agencies, we're going to have speakers from big publishers, and as well as, you know, from a couple of thought leaders in the space.
That's on Sunday again?
It's on September 25 to 26.
Okay, September 25
to 26 at SMR.
SM. How do you register?
Just go to imap.com.ph, that's our website, and we'll have the information there for registration.
Okay, good to have you here again, Michael. Thank you for joining us. That was Michael Palacios from the Internet and Mobile Marketing Association of the Philippines joining us for today's Money Talks.